Okay, students, on this clip we're going to go over how to find the nth roots of complex numbers, okay? So write down the title of this notes, finding the nth roots of complex numbers, okay? Last time we went over just how to find the principal roots, okay? But now we're going to find all the roots, okay? So let's take a look at, we're going to take a look at, so let's look at the formula first, and then we'll go ahead and look at an example, okay? So, formula. Okay. Let's say we wanted to find the p roots of a complex number. So if we have a plus bi as a complex number raised to the 1 over p, the complex roots are going to be given by r to the 1 over p times cosine cosine theta over p plus 2 pi n over p, that's for the cosine component, plus I sine, the same story, theta over p, plus 2 pi n over p, close this bracket, where n starts from 0 and goes 1, 2, all the way to p minus 1. So if you're looking for the third root, you're going to go from 0 to 2. That's 3 minus 1. You're looking for the fourth root, you go 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so always go all the way up to 1 less than the targeted root because you're starting from 0. Alright? So this is basically how you find all the roots of a complex number. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at an example. Example 1. Example 1. Solve x to the third plus 27 equals 0. Okay? So what we're looking for basically in this equation is we're looking for all the complex roots. Now if this is a third degree polynomial equation, then how many complex roots does it have? Remember, we talked about this in the beginning of the year. The degree and the complex roots are the same, so we need to have 3 complex roots as a solution. So let's solve this. So in order to solve this, what we're going to do, let's start with x to the third minus plus 27 equals 0. And we're going to subtract 27 from both sides. And then we're going to have x to the third equals negative 27. And then what is the opposite of cube? Cube root, right? So I raise both sides to the 1/3 power. This raised to 1/3. And let me write that. So I'm going to do x to the third. I'm going to raise that to the 1/3 power. The left side. And negative 27 are also raised to the 1/3 power. Okay? So it's going to be x equals negative 27 to the 1/3. Does anybody know what the solution to this equation is? What is the third root of negative 27? What number multiplied by itself 3 times gives you negative 27? Alright, now let's apply the formula. So apply the formula. I like to write this in a plus bi form. So this is going to be x equals negative 27 plus 0i raised to the 1/3. This makes explicit my a and my b. Alright? Alright, so now let's go ahead and find the solutions to this problem. So we're going to we want to find negative 27 plus 0I to the 1/3. This is what I'm trying to find. I need to express this in polar form first, right? Before I can find the cube roots. So in order to express this in polar form, I need r and theta. R is the square root of a squared plus b squared, which is negative 27 squared plus 0 squared. And that is going to be the square root of negative 27 squared is the same thing as 27 squared. 0 goes away. Squared and squares are inverses, so we're just going to end up with 27 as my radius, or absolute value. Alright, what is my theta value? Theta is the inverse tangent of b over a, which is inverse tangent of 0 over negative 27. Alright, since x is negative, we have to add 180 to our answer, right? Remember, whenever x is negative, you have to add 180, or pi. So now we're going to go inverse tan of 0 over anything other than 0 is 0. Inverse tan of 0 plus 180. What is the inverse tan of 0? Fire up the calculators. Let's see what this value is. Inverse tan of 0 is 0. Okay, so we're going to have 0 plus 180, so theta is going to be 180 degrees. Alright, so let's set up the problem for solution. So this whole problem is now going to become negative 27 plus 0I to the 1/3 is now going to become the radius, which is 27 cosine 180 plus I sine 180. All this business raised to the 1/3 power. Alright. So if I apply the formula here, this is going to become squiggly bracket 27 to the 1/3 times cosine. Now we're going to have theta over n. Theta is 180 over over p, which is 3. Since we're taking the third root, so we divide the angle by 3, plus 2 pi n over p, which is third root. Okay, this is the real part. The complex part is this I sine the same business. Okay, imaginary part. So I sine 180 over 3 plus 2 pi n over 3, like that. Close that, and your squiggly bracket, where n goes from 0 all the way to 2. Okay? 0, 1, 2 will give us the 3 complex roots that we need. So when we start plugging in the zeros, 0, 1, 2, 3, it's going to generate the 3 roots for us. Alright, so the first root is n equals 0. Alright, so let's evaluate what the first root is. So that's going to be the cube root of 27 times cosine. What is 180 over 3? 60, right? 60 degrees plus 2 pi. I'd like to write this in degrees. 2 pi is 360, right? So times 360. N is 0. Put that in blue. 360, we're going to put the 0 here. Over 3. That's for the cosine part. Plus I sine. Same story. 60 plus 360 times the value. The first one. 0 over 3. Okay? So, what is 60 plus 360 times 0 over 3? 360 times 0 is 0. 0 over 3 is 0. Alright? So this whole business goes to 0. This one goes to 0. So we just left with 60, right? So this whole thing is equal to 0. This whole thing is equal to 0. So we're left with 60 for the first one. So for the first one, we're going to go, it's going to become, what's the cube root of 27? Cube root of 27 is 3. Cosine 60 plus I sine 60 degrees. So this is the first root, okay? In polar form. Of course, we have to express this in rectangular form, right? So to express this in rectangular form, we go to a unit circle and look for where 60 is. If it's not on the unit circle, then we got to use our calculator, okay? So in a unit circle, 60 degrees is 1/2 over 3 over 2. So let's do it. So 60 degrees is basically 1/2 and root 3 over 2. This is cosine, this is sine. So this problem becomes, well, let's box this as the polar form, so we lose track. This becomes 3 times cosine is 1/2 plus root 3 over 2 for the sine I. Okay? And then distribute 3 to everything. We're going to have 3 over 2 plus 3 root 3 over 2i. And there goes your answer in rectangular form. Okay? For the first root. Alright, now the next one, n equals 1. So for n equals 1, what we're going to have? It's going to become, we know what the cube root of 3 is, right? This is 3. We're going to have 3 times cosine of 60 plus, instead of 360 times 0, we're going to have 360 times 1. I'm showing you all the baby steps right now because this is the first time you're doing it. Some of these steps you're going to have to do. Alright, 360 times 1 plus I sine the same story. I sine 60 plus 360 times 1 over 3. Like that. Okay? Alright. Now let's work that out. What is 60 plus 360 over 3? Let's do that on the side here to save space. So 60 plus 360 over 3 is the same thing as 60 plus 120, which is 180. So basically this is 180, that's 180. So our answer in polar form is going to be 3 times cosine 180 degrees plus I sine 180 degrees. So this is the second root in polar form. How about this in rectangular form? The second root in rectangular form. It's going to be as follows. We're going to have 3 times. Now, what is 180 on the unit circle? 180 is way on the left, right? So it's basically negative 1, 0 on the unit circle. So it's going to be minus 1 plus 0i. Okay, don't put commas here when you're using the unit circle because it's not coordinate, it's a number. Alright? Distribute the 3, our answer is simply going to be negative 3. This is the answer that you thought was the only answer before. It's just one of the 3 answers. Alright? So this is the second root in rectangular form. Last one, but not the least, is n equals 2. Okay? So now that's going to give us 3 times cosine of 60 plus 360 times 2 over 3 plus I sine the same story. I sine 60 plus 360 times 2 over 3. Okay. Alright, now, let's do this. I want to evaluate this angular part on the side here. I don't want to keep writing a million times. So what is 60 plus 360 times 2 over 3? That's going to be 60 plus 720 over 3. right? It's going to be 60 plus 240. So 720 divided by 3 is 240. 300 degrees. 300 degrees. Alright, so it's going to become, my answer in polar form is going to be 3 times cosine 300 degrees plus I sine 300 degrees for your polar form. Okay? Now you have your answer down in the polar form. Now we're going to express the answer in rectangular form. All we need is the coordinates for 300 degrees. 300 degrees is what? What is 300 degrees? If you look on the unit circle, 300 degrees is 1/2 and negative root 3 over 2. So we have 1/2 and negative root 3 over 2. We're going to plug that in here. So it's going to be 3 times 1/2 minus root 3 over 2 pi. And if you distribute the 3, you have 3 over 2 minus 3 root 3 over 2 pi. So that goes your answer in rectangular form. So technically you have 6 answers in this problem. Okay? Rectangular, 3 times. Alright, so that's that for this example. Thanks for paying attention. Remember, this video is uploaded on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. Okay? Okay?